thanks for watching Plastic Phoenix Toys. I'm Professor Plastix, and this week we've got a fun one. This is the Big Bolt Construction Set from Tomy, 1981. In 1981, Tomy realized that kids love playing with air-based toys. They did things like the Space Pets and the Air Jammer race car, and this one right here, the Big Bolt Construction Set. So we're going to open up the box today, we're going to take out the pieces, and we're going to see this toy in action for the rare 1981 Big Bolt Construction Set. All right, everybody, here we have the 1981 Tomy Big Bolt Construction Set. But before we dive into this, do you remember this commercial from 1981?
Big Bolt Construction Set, Big Bolt.
The compressor truck gives you the air supply,
so you can raise the big yellow crane up high
and run the saw and the drill for the hard-headed guy.
It'll drive a bolt or make a jackhammer fly.
Big Bolt Construction Set, Big Bolt.
Batteries not included. Big Bolt Construction Set comes with everything you see here. It's made by Tomy.
All right, that was the commercial, and here we have the actual set. This set is mostly complete. We're missing a couple minor things like an extra hose that came with this, but basically everything is here for us to see how this works. Now, it's actually really not hard to find these Big Bolt Construction Sets, but finding one that works is extremely hard. The components that were inside of this that run on 2C batteries, they're easy to break apart. The little air engine inside here is easy to break apart. So we're lucky to have a working one today. Now, one thing I like to teach my students is the use of air in the classroom. We use air for everything from playing air soccer in the classroom to design and construction of paper airplanes. So air is a lot of fun. And Tomy harnessed that in this toy. Now, what this compressor does is it is going to turn on and actually make some of these features work. Now, the truck and the crane were two separate that you could connect together. And the crane had this cool extension feature like this that you could put down. Now we're going to flip the switch here on the compressor. Now I do warn you, it is loud, just like an actual air compressor, even though it's very tiny. We're going to flip this on and we're going to see what happens with the crane. All right. So we have the crane fully extended. Now to make it go back down, all you had to do is press this little button and it would return to place. So really cool. The air compressor sends little puffs of air through that actually makes it puff up a little bit at a time as it goes up. And then of course you have that quick release. Now the crane was really cool because it also served as a way to press air to other parts of this toy. Now you could plug in the air compressor straight into this, which would operate the crane, or you could plug it into this section and then plug another hose in that would go to the tools, like this. Now, since we only have one air hose today for Big Bolt's tools, we're going to use that to plug straight into the different tools and accessories he has. Now, this part was really cool. This was a little tiny construction site that you could use for all the different tools. Now, Big Bolt here, he could actually hold the tools in his hands like this, and they were kind of a little bit hard to get in because they're very square fitting, very snug in his hands. Now, when you push the compressor on, this little jackhammer is going to work back and forth here. You'll be able to see. Actually goes in and out. So he can actually jackhammer the concrete here. And do it on this side. Very cool. And I can only imagine how annoying this sound was for parents back in 1981. So Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. But it was a lot of fun for us to let this thing run all the time. There was another cool piece of equipment he had here. He had a power drill that when air pumped in, it could spin back and forth like that. Actually make a little bit of a drill sound. If you listen closely. But then he also had this really cool Sawzall here that you could use. So we're going to see if we can get that in his hand here for him to use. Again, a little bit tricky because of the way the square handles are set up here. But you can get it in if you put his hand and then kind of turn him like that. Now the air hose would go into the side like this. And then this little construction set had a cool feature. It actually had a little piece for him to saw off right here. Whoops, knock him over. Just like that. You could saw it off. It's very cool. So we put it on like that. Now we're going to see if we can use his little Sawzall here to cut off that little section. We'll turn on his saw like this. And then you kind of just had to force it down like that to cut the piece off. Again, a very, very cool feature of this toy. When you put the whole playset together, it was actually a lot of playability. You could take out the compressor, pretend that he's going to job sites. You could add other things in here. I'll be honest, a lot of times this truck, when I had it, became a G.I. Joe vehicle because there was so much space inside to set things that it was really cool for transport. One really cool feature too of this is there's actually other little accessories here. There was a screw that came with it and a bolt, and then this little extension that goes onto the jackhammer like this to press it down, smooth it down. And then all of the pieces all had places inside the truck here. So the jackhammer could go right here, the little accessory to the jackhammer, and the little piece that gets cut off actually had a spot in the back of the truck too that's marked. The drill, power drill, would go right here in the front section. And then his little Sawzall would go in the back, like this. And it was a really cool way to kind of keep everything there, and also realize if you were missing a piece, if there was something that was empty, then you might have left it around the carpet somewhere, you can go look for it. You could attach on the crane, push it inside like that, stick big bolt in the front, and the air compressor like this, and you were off to your next construction job. Now again, really cool toy, and it was something that was educational. It really taught kids the power of air and how it could be used to make things move and to function as an actual part of job work, as a, like a pneumatic tool would do. So when I'm teaching my kids about this in school, when they're using the air to make things move around, they can see the power of it as it goes. Something simple as lifting a crane up and down. So that is our 1981 Tomy Big Bull Construction playset. What do you think? Did you have one when you were a kid? If so, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe because we have so many more hard to find and sometimes forgotten, but not, in our minds, construction toys, 80s toys, all kinds of fun things like that from the 1980s. Thank you guys again for watching and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.